Tim got it. I'd like to introduce you to Kevin Dunn. He's a relatively new member of our parish. And he called me up and he said, I've got a Baroque guitar. I said, well, I'm not a repairman. I had to say that. And he said, I'd like to play. And I said, okay. And I think you're going to enjoy it. He's going to give us a little bit of talking about, or a little discussion on Baroque guitar.
Thank you all for coming out. I'm going to play a brief little piece. It has a sort of a hook related to the evening, in that it's from a manuscript that was found in Mexico City from about the beginning of the 18th century. It was compiled by a guy who lived his entire life in Madrid, but he made a lot of the manuscripts to be used by wealthy patrons in colonial Spain period, like places like Honduras, for instance. And it's being a collection, it's actually older than that point in history. It's probably about the middle of the 17th century. A little about the instrument. Latin America is full of instruments descended pretty much directly from this one. This has multiple courses, a lot like a modern 12-string, a lot like a lute from the Elizabethan period, for instance. They're very similar in a lot of ways. But this is a model built, the sort of a modern version, since obviously it plugs in, of a instrument from the Celis workshop in Venice, about 1630. This is strung in nylon, ordinarily would be strung in sheet gut.
Lovely.
Gives a slightly different sound, but the sonorities are a lot the same. Anyway, this piece, which was collected and probably not written by Santiago de Murcia, is called Sarao, or El Ballete del Retiro, which is, of course, the big palace of the Spanish kings just outside Madrid. What was outside Madrid, not anymore. But a sarao is like a salon, basically. It was a refined place of conversation and more complicated music than the tarantellas and zarzuelas that you might hear out in the theater or the marketplace. So, without further ado, sarao.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.